You know, we've all been there. Right in the middle of a really tough time, we look up and ask one of the oldest, heaviest questions there is. And in this explainer, we're going to tackle it head on.
Right, let's just get straight to it. You try to be a decent person, you do your best, and then bam, something awful happens, and you're left just wondering, why me? What did I do to deserve this? It's a question that can make you feel completely and utterly alone.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? When we're in pain, our whole world just shrinks down, and it feels like we are the only person on the planet going through this. But what if that feeling, that deep sense of isolation, is actually a huge misunderstanding of how suffering really works? Well, there's an ancient story that offers a really powerful shift in perspective.
So, let's dive into this story. It's about a young mother who faced an absolutely unimaginable loss. And she went on a quest not for a cure, but for an answer.
Okay, so picture this. A young mother's baby has just died, and she is so consumed by grief that she literally cannot accept it. She carries her child's body from place to place, frantically searching for some kind of miracle, a doctor who can bring him back. Of course, nobody can. And finally, totally heartbroken and exhausted, she finds her way to the Buddha.
The Buddha looks at her with compassion and says, "Okay, I will cure your baby." Imagine the hope that must have flooded through her. But then he says, "First, you have to do one thing for me. Bring me a single handful of mustard seed from a house where no one has ever died." Now that sounds pretty simple, right? She probably thought, yeah, I can do that, easy.
So off she goes. She gets to the first house and asks for the mustard seed. They're happy to help, but then she asks her question. Has anyone in this family ever died? And they look at her sadly and say, of course, we lost our father just last year. So she goes to the next house, and the next, and the next. She goes through the entire village, door to door, and at every single home, the answer is exactly the same.
And as she's walking from door to door, hearing these stories, something inside her starts to shift. A huge, profound realization begins to dawn on her. And this brings us to the uncomfortable but also incredibly freeing truth at the heart of this story. It's about changing how we see pain, shifting from my pain to our pain.
And this is the change that happened inside her. See, she started her journey feeling that her suffering was this unique, isolating personal curse, something that was happening only to her. But her quest taught her something else entirely. Suffering isn't personal. It's universal. It's a shared human condition that actually connects us all. Suddenly, she wasn't so alone.
You know, what the mother discovered on her own is actually one of the core teachings in Buddhism. It's called the First Noble Truth. Now, it's really important to get this right. It doesn't mean that life is only suffering, that everything is bad. Not at all. It just means that hardship, pain, and loss are an inevitable, inescapable part of being alive, for everyone.
Okay, so if suffering is a part of life for everybody, if it's unavoidable, that leads to a pretty big question, right? What are we supposed to do about it? Well, the answer starts with one single, incredibly powerful first step. And this is the practical part. We get it now. Pain is universal. Okay, now what? So often, we spend all our energy fighting reality, just wishing our problems would magically disappear. But the hard truth is, that's just not how life works. We can't always change our circumstances. The mother couldn't bring her baby back. And a lot of the time, we can't just snap our fingers and remove the source of our own pain either.
When the mother finally returned to the Buddha, she didn't ask for a cure for her baby anymore. Instead, she thanked him for curing her. And that's because she finally understood the power of acceptance. Look, acceptance isn't giving up. It's not weakness. It's about finally looking reality in the eye so you can start to work with it instead of constantly fighting against it. It's the only way to find a remedy, not for the situation, but for your own peace of mind.
So once we accept what is, a brand new door opens up. We can actually start to reframe our challenges, to see them not as curses, but as opportunities to build something powerful inside of us. And this is where our true power is. We may not control what happens to us. The storms of life are going to come. But we absolutely, 100%, get to choose how we react to them. We can let them break us, or we can use them as a tool to build ourselves up, stronger than before. When you look at it this way, painful experiences can become blessings in disguise. They're opportunities. Hardships are what build resilience. Challenges are what develop a strong mind. It's kind of like learning to swim, right? You can't learn to swim by standing at the edge of the pool wishing the water wasn't there. You have to get in, you have to struggle a bit, and it's in that struggle that you learn how to stay afloat.
This all leads to a really fundamental shift in what we even ask for in life. We spend so much time on the left, just praying, please no more problems, please don't give me any suffering. But a much more powerful approach is on the right. Please give me the mental strength to face whatever comes my way.
Because at the end of the day, that's the real prize. Not a life that's magically free of problems, because that's impossible, but a mind that is so resilient, so strong that it can find peace and strength no matter what life throws at it. A mind that is ready for anything.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you find yourself facing something tough, ask yourself this question. Is this just a heavy burden I have to carry, or is this my chance to get in the water and finally learn how to swim?